Hello, hello, welcome. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you're here. We are on day 5. Let me see if I can get this on spot. There we are. Hello, welcome. Please let me know if you're excited to be here in the chat. We are on day 5 of the virtual apprentice, and I hope you have had as much fun as we have had this week going through everything to do with a paint party business. So let me know with a number 1 in the chat if you are excited about a paint party business, if you have been watching and learning. Let me make sure I'm recording. Okay, good. Yes. I just went with a walk. I just went on a walk with Bobby a minute ago, and so my hair is kind of windblown. I don't know what's going on with this. This is what we got going on. All right, so what we're going to be doing tonight is I want to just kind of show you a little bit. We have, I think, 84 questions that I'm going to be answering. And then all of you have put your questions inside of the chat or the Facebook group. And then if you have more questions, you can feel free to add those to the chat. If you haven't asked it yet, we're going to answer the questions in the Facebook group first. And then I'm going to go to anything that's in the chat. So my team, let's give them a round of applause, everybody. My team is grabbing your questions. So if you haven't asked it yet and you do have questions you want to ask, my team is grabbing those questions and we'll answer those at the end. So welcome to day 5 of the virtual apprentice. We on day 1 kind of talked over what we were going to go through. Day 2, we ended up doing shopping together and we packed for the paint party. Day 3, you watched a paint party happen over shoulder, kind of a fly on the wall, watching me teach a paint party. And then day 4, you watched while we were doing all the marketing for the after party. And then now day 5 is Q&A. So I'm going to share with y'all really quick, just a little recap of some stuff that we have. Let me see if I can get it pulled up. And then let me know if that is okay with you. If you're okay seeing a little bit of our awesomeness in the background. Let me see if I can present it. One second. And the great news is you don't have to be a tech genius to teach paint parties. Because right now I'm doing tech genius work right here. Okay, let me share my screen. All right. Let's see. I'm going to put it in present mode. Will y'all let me know, team, will you let me know if it's showing in present mode or if it's showing in... Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so this is kind of what we did. Y'all just saw this paint party happen. And what I'm going to do is just kind of go through a little bit about what the possibilities of paint parties. So you can do in-person paint parties like you see here. And you can do canvas, wood, porch leaners, ceramics, door hangers, online, in person, as well as like wine glasses. I've been seeing, I don't know if you've seen the TikTok trend of the couples doing paint parties and then painting each other. And let me know in the chat if you've seen those couples doing that. There's also really cool baby shower paint parties as well. All right, so the next one, here's in person, as you saw me do on Wednesday. We have online. How many of you are interested in doing online paint parties? They are so much fun. You can see here I was doing an online paint party with a bunch of students back in the fall. All right. And then there are art kits. So you can see Bobby and Pixie in the bottom left, packing art kits like crazy. That's also another opportunity. Art kits. And then custom orders. So we have a member that is literally all she does. See the welcome porch sign over here? That's all she does is porch leaners. It's awesome. She's made so much money for doing porch leaners. All right, so the main reason I love sharing so much about this is because not only does art heal, but I'm so, and I talked about this a little bit yesterday, just tired of the starving artist mentality. So if you're kind of tired of that, please let me know. Put in the comments, put in the comments, I don't know, no more. Maybe put no more, because that's the thing. I think once I kind of got out of that kind of victim mentality of the starving artist, it was like, oh, I can make money doing this. So let me know if that's you in the chat. All right, and then everybody have their notebooks from the week? Did anybody take notes this week? Let's see. Let's see who took notes. Cindy, did you? Becky? Denise? Did you? Yes? Okay, good. Jennifer, did you take notes this week? No, oh no. Rosalind, did you take notes? Good. You got your homework done. Susan, did you take notes? Y'all let me know if you took notes this week. Lynn took notes. Good. Denise took notes. Jennifer took mental notes. That's good. That's better than nothing. So I want you to write down on your notebook, or if you don't have a notebook, I highly recommend you grab some paper because, like I said, we have 84 questions. So I'm going to be going fast, like rapid fire fast. So I want you to, utilize this time, regardless if you decide to be a part of Paint Party headquarters. I want you to utilize this time wisely because, again, that's one thing we can't get back is our time. So I want to make sure that you're getting as much as you can from this. Okay. So I want you to write down what you want to use your Paint Party money for. And if you feel like adding it to the chat, you can, but you don't have to. Okay. So are you wanting to save up money and pay for Christmas without debt and maybe go on a cruise? That would be fun. By the way, we have a Paint Party headquarters cruise coming up, which I'm really excited about. And are you wanting to pay off student loans? And is it Kiara? I hope I'm saying that right. Support more my family with bills. Yep, good. And thanks for the house and a vacation for me and my mom. Rosalind, that's so sweet. Very cool. Retire and replace some of my income with it. Yeah, so there's all kinds of things that you can do with making money with this, okay? So many different things. And then I want you to remember, I have said this a time or two, and I will say it a time or two again. There are people less qualified than you doing what you want to do. So you don't have to be the best in the business to make money doing this, okay? Yeah, Lori says medical debt, then savings, then my husband to not work 3 jobs. Oh my gosh, Lori. Yeah, definitely make some money and kind of take some of that weight off. And right here is just a typical breakdown. So if you sell 10 tickets at $35 a person, you're looking at about $350. And then expenses, as we talked about, me and Pixie earlier this week talked all about how you don't have to have everything. You don't have to have your your easels. You don't have to have all of that stuff. I don't know why it's writing on there. That's weird. I have no idea why it's doing that. It's so strange. Is it me? Maybe? Huh, who knows? And then also, I want you to know, you get to write off glitter. Isn't that the coolest thing? Like, I don't know about you, but being able to write off glitter is kind of the coolest thing ever. Okay, so I want to take just a second to share with you if that's okay. Let me know if it's okay, but it should only take just a couple of minutes. But I know some of y'all are new to me. Let me know if you're brand new to me this week with a 1. And let me know if we're already friends, we're already BFFs with the 2. So Denise is brand new. Awesome. Good, Lori. Jennifer, BFF. Yeah, if you're number 2, you know you're a BFF. Rosalind 1, Raquel 1. So we have a lot of new people. And so I haven't shared my story this week at all yet. But we went bankrupt over 10 years ago. Well, it's been about 15 years now. And so we went bankrupt, lost everything. And the way that we kind of bounced back was I started using Art to Heal. And from using Art to Heal, I ended up making these mini surfboards. And long story short, I took these mini surfboards and we ended up selling them at a place called Pier Park in Florida. So let me know if you've ever been to Panama City Beach in Florida. It's so beautiful. If you've never been there, put it on the notes. You should go. It's so pretty. It's about 30 minutes from Destin. And I ended up selling these surfboards, but before they sold, nobody was buying them. And I just thought it was the worst thing in the world. So what do you do when you've lost everything and you don't have a plan B and you've gone bankrupt? You you go to Buffalo Wild Wings and you have a drink. So funny. Oh, let's see. Can you see me, Brendan? Is it okay? I think we can. Okay, good. And my mother-in-law, who I'm about to talk about, was just calling me. I was having to send her to voicemail, but my mother-in-law said, "Oh, let's go to Buffalo Wild Wings. We're at the bar having a drink," and she knows I'm so upset because everything was riding on this. And here we are, like, we have a toddler and just, lost everything, or we don't have our house. We're living in an apartment, and then I'm trying to have a plan B and it's not working. And so, so it sucked. It was bad. And so here I am, drink 2 in, like, what am I going to do? Like, I don't, this is it. I don't know what else is left. Like, life sucks. Life is hard. I don't know what to do. And then Bobby called me and everything changed. He calls and he's like, Heidi, get over here. We have orders. And I'm like, you're lying. He's like, no, we have orders. Get over here. So my eyes are wide. I look at my mother-in-law. She's like, go. And so I tipsily walk across the street, if I'm honest, and I look at Bobby, and he's got this like paper tickets like this, like these paper tickets, and he's holding them like this. And we used to write all the orders on these little tickets. And I was like, oh my gosh. And he looks at me and he's holding him out and he goes, get to painting. And I'm like, and in that moment, like, y'all, I remember just being flat on my face, done for, thinking like, life is hard. I'm not even 30. I'm bankrupt. Like, who am I to be successful? Who am I to have anything good in life? Like, I had all these thoughts of just like shame and embarrassment and everything. And I felt like I was flat on the floor, done for. And then in that moment, with those tickets being held in front of me, it's like God scooped me up and said, not only is it going to be okay, but you're going to get to do what you love, which is paint. And so I went on painting that night, laughing and just, a little tipsy, but, painting and laughing. And we went on to sell over 1,000 hand painted surfboards, which, for those of you that don't know me, I would finish one painting a year. I was the slowest painter in the world. And I had to figure it out because in 2 months' time, we painted over 1,000 hand painted surfboards, and I would customize to whatever they wanted. So if they wanted a engagement thing, I'd be like, footprints in the sand. I mean, I did everything anybody wanted because I knew it was $20 towards my family's future. So that just changed everything for me. And it really showed me the power of entrepreneurship. And it also showed me the power of actually having an art business and not being a starving artist. So that was the start of it. And it was pretty crazy. So, all right. So what we're going to do now, let me show you a little bit. And if you have any questions about that, please ask in the chat. My team's going to be grabbing those questions and sharing those. So if you have any questions at all, please ask. I'm an open book. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen again. I'm letting people in. That's weird. Yeah, every time they come to the waiting room, Brendan, I just put admit all. Huh. No worries. No, that's weird. Okay, all right. So let me go ahead and do share screen. Let's see. Yeah, we got a lot of people coming in. That's cool. Okay, awesome. All right, let me get in present mode. Okay, so this is why we did this one. I wanted to show you those surfboards, and then you can see Pixie, how little she was. So that's when you can see her surfboard. She's just putting all black paint over it. I think that's the cutest picture. I love it so much. All right, so the next slide, I wanted to show you this slide because look at my face up here. I am so freaking happy. This was in December, just a few months ago. And I don't know what it is. When I get out of my own head and I'm in a paint party setting, it's like everything else goes away and I'm just focused on other people. So I want y'all to know that, like, if you do feel like you're stuck in that funk of just being, oh, this ain't gonna work, or this ain't gonna work, all of that, just remember, like, when you start taking action, like, it is, and you can see it's pure joy on my face. And I want that for you. Okay, so guinea pig party. How many of you are nervous about actually teaching your first paint party? Do in the chat, do a 1 if you feel nervous. I want to see. And it's okay if you're nervous. I sometimes still get nervous. Raquel, Rosalind. Okay, let's see. April, Susan, Lori, 1 to put it lightly. Pixie made up a word. If you're in paint party headquarters, you'll know this word, nervitis. Like, you're nervous, but you're also excited. Like, if you're nervitis, maybe put a 3 in the chat. Let's see who's nervous, but also excited. I want to see who's the nervitis people. Because y'all are my people, definitely. Like, it's like so nervousness and also excitedness, and I just love it. I promise, once you get started, the nerves go away. So Denise, Lynn, Kiara, yes, I totally get it. I have been there, Jennifer says, the greatest feeling. It is. It is such a great feeling. So what I recommend is instead of putting all this pressure on yourself to try to do a party where you're getting paid, I recommend a guinea pig party or a practice party. So if you are nervous about asking people for money, how many of you artists are nervous about asking for money? I know there's more than one of us. I used to be the worst. I would trade everything. If you are nervous about asking for money, that is one of the things that you can do with a guinea pig party or a practice party, okay? That means you don't have to ask. You can just have a few people over around your dining room table or your art studio and just have them there. All right, let's see what's next. Okay, and then this script, I highly recommend if you are watching, do a screenshot. Do a screenshot. Oh, the link's not working for some people, Tammy. That's weird. Yeah, the team's trying to get, and I keep admitting people too, so I don't know. Oops, I don't know why that's happening. Hopefully if they can't get in, they can watch the replay. Yeah, that sucks if they can't get in. All right, so a great way to do this is just to screenshot this. So if you are wanting to do a real party and get paid, screenshot this. This works really, really well. Okay, so an easy way to get started. Hi, we call it the magic script. Hi, my name is Heidi and I teach step-by-step paint parties. I would love to see about doing this at your restaurant, community center, whatever, on a slow night. Do you have time to talk this week? Okay. So screenshot that. I'm gonna give you 5 more seconds because it is gold. 5, screenshot, take a picture. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, awesome. And then here's a couple of people that I just wanted to show you so you know that it's not just me doing paint parties, but Dawn, 16 paint parties this month. Isn't that crazy? And then this one, we've had some great parties lately. I love doing this business with my husband, different things like that. So I want you to make sure that it's, there's plenty opportunities for people to do this. And Sarah just, this is an older post, but she just recently sold out 2 30-person parties with one of our hummingbirds, which is awesome. And then we have a sold out kids art camp. And then also all of these designs, another full class of 43 painters and 55 painters. Alexa, what's 55 times 35? $1,925. Y'all, that's some serious money. I don't care who you are. That's some serious money. Okay. And then right here, Monique, Paint Party Success, a painting with sometimes she has parties of over 100 people. This was a small party, but she talked about how, being able to talk to people, all of that is unmatched. Now, here's what I love so much about that is because small parties, you cannot discount small parties, okay? Big things happen in small parties. You get connections, you have more time to talk to them and get to know them. Okay, so how many of y'all really struggle when you're booking the parties? And you can put a 1 in the chat if you struggle booking parties, if you struggle designing flyers, getting prepays, going live, any of these things, selling art kits, creating new paintings, time management, how to teach step-by-step, all of that stuff, okay? Social media. All right, so if you have any struggles with that, Jennifer, okay? So Jennifer, Donna, I was like, I know y'all are not the only ones. I'm really bad at creating graphics. That's why we make graphics in Paint Party headquarters for y'all, because that's my struggle. I don't know if I do still have it. Oh my gosh. Let me show you. Let's see. Okay, look, y'all. So this is how bad I am at graphics. I keep this here so you know it is not just you. Are y'all ready for my beautiful graphic when I did all of this by myself? Are y'all ready? Now, I've been doing this for, about 17 years now, basically the amount of time Pixie's been alive. Ready for my graphic? Are you ready? I feel like we need a drum roll. Drum roll, please. Heidi's graphic back in the day. Bam. Look at that beauty. Oh my, she is a graphic genius. Paint your pet, register today. Who would not want to come to that? Paint your pet. That is glorious. Like, I'm awful at it. I'm still that bad. I'm still pretty bad at it. So we definitely make places so in Paint Party headquarters to help you. All right, so let me show you a few more slides and then we're going to get straight to all the Q&A. All right, yes, we have designers now, which I am so grateful for. Oh my gosh, so grateful. And we have and just something I am so excited about. Any of y'all that are in Texas, you'll understand my excitement. Do we have any Texas people here? Let me know if you're in Texas. Yes. Oh, good. We got a lot of Texas people. Okay, so do you know the company Junk Gypsy? It's one of my favorite companies in the whole wide world. And we recently we have a paint party with them on May 4th. And I'm so excited. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was telling my team, I need graphics. Like we have Junk Gypsy and I need to be able to give them graphics. So it was really cool. All right. And so if I was left to my own design, Junk Gypsy would not be very happy with me. They would be like, no, we're not posting that. We're not doing that. All right, so let me go ahead and share a couple more slides and then we're going to get straight into questions. All right, and make sure you put your questions in the chat. I see some of y'all raising your hand. If you'll type them in the chat, and then my team's grabbing them and putting them in a spreadsheet so I can stay focused and make sure to get everybody in there. All right, so Paint Party headquarters. This is, again, this might be for you or it might not. Okay, there's no pressure here, but I definitely want to show you what it's about because if this was created when I was first teaching paint parties, I would have in a heartbeat done this because it's so much easier. So basically inside Paint Party headquarters, you get marketing and your paintings, all of that, and trainings on how to get butts and seats. Anybody struggle with getting butts and seats sometimes? All of that kind of stuff. Prepaid attendees, so you're ready and already paid before the party starts. Having paintings done for you, that is a huge time saver. That was one of my biggest headaches whenever I first started this, was trying to paint the paintings. And I would show people the paintings and then they wouldn't like the painting. And then I would repaint. It was just back and forth. It was awful. And having paintings and marketing done, having more fun and making a profit every party. And then every single month, so in Paint Party headquarters, we have over 3,000 members. We've been around almost 6 years. Next month will be our 6-year birthday. And we have monthly on-trend paintings, marketing materials, marketing and social media, monthly live Q&As, over 3,000 supportive community business owners. How many of y'all have seen some nasty Facebook groups out there? This is not one of them. We don't allow it. I protect it with my life. We do not allow mean people in this group. It's just not what we're about. And member brainstorm and strategy sessions, prayer and gratitude meetings are optional. I know not everybody is a praying person and that's okay. So, but we do have them optional on Zoom every single month. And to me, that's one of my highlights of this whole thing is getting to pray with you and remember that God is in control of all of this. Okay, the next thing, which is really cool, is we worked out a deal with Deco Art. And so every single month you get a coupon code for 50% off of paints. So you go online, put the coupon code in, which we put it on our calendar every single month. We put the coupon code and then you get to get 50% off of paints. All right, and then basically for Paint Party headquarters, it's $47 a month or $423 a year, and you get 3 months free. So that gets you access to the app, access to all of the trainings, every single thing you need, and then of course access to all of my designs. We have hundreds of designs that you can grab and go, as well as the Facebook group, which has all the community. But some people, if you don't like the Facebook group, you can still do everything from the training, which is pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to start answering questions. So this is, if anybody's interested, oh, we have some bonuses. I forgot about this. I I forgot about our bonuses. If you want to join, by Tuesday, we're giving 3 bonuses away with it. So if you want to join by Tuesday, you're going to get bonus number 1, the Backcountry Bear with all the marketing stuff, the magic scripts, which is basically, I don't know where, I put it in the art studio. Basically it has 13 scripts in there. It might have 14 scripts that tell you exactly what to say and what to, send to get butts or to get a party booked, which, by the way, people think that's the hardest part. That is not the hardest part. And then the creative content prompt calendar. So if you've ever been not sure what to put on your social media, this basically walks you straight through. And so anybody who is joining, which we would love to have you, that is going to happen when you join by Tuesday. All right. And then here we have just a little, kind of a show of what it is. So like, I remember when I was a teacher, and I was a teacher for 10 years. And so I was like 850 students a week. It was so much work. If you're a teacher, please, oh my gosh, please put it in the chat, because we need to send you a rest day. It is so much work. So much work. And I was a teacher for 10 years. And I just, man, I just remember like working all week and then having to go design my paintings, try to get them right, and then try to send that to the customer just to have them tell me, no, that's not what they're looking for. And so now that we have the lookbooks and we have all these materials created for you, I basically designed Paint Party Headquarters for what I needed. So, so we do have, everything that you could possibly want in this membership. And then, yes, you can craft for a living, craft and paint, and you can choose your own hours based on when you want to teach paint parties. So like in the summertime, I used to do a ton of parties, and I would always do this one around July 4th. And so I started realizing like, hey, I'm going to, go hard in the spring, go hard in the fall and at Christmas time. And then I like to take a break in January, and I like to take a couple of months in the summer. So you can kind of start to create your own schedule. So in the past, I did all year, as much as I could, as fast as I could go. Now I'm kind of bulking things up in certain times of the year. So I know like, okay, it's fall, it's my go season. Okay, it's Christmas, it's my go season. And then I have like, a margarita. Victoria, will you share with me, please? And I was like, I'm going to have a drink, but I'm going to wait until a little bit later. So anyway, so I kind of bulk it up. So you have until Tuesday, and the doors close at midnight on Tuesday. And we're doing that for a couple of reasons. We have a lot of members, and when we have so many people coming in anytime, just coming and going, it kind of creates chaos in the group. So we really wanted to just close the doors on Tuesday night at midnight to kind of calm down that chaos for our current members. Because again, we're business owners, we're busy, we're trying to get things done. So here's just a few of the many paintings we have. And I also utilize guest artists as well, because I know my style is not, exactly everybody's style. So, so we do utilize guest artists so that you have variety. And again, every time we're dropping, like, for example, when you join before Tuesday, we're dropping all of our fall stuff in June. So then you have time to paint it, to get ready for it, because what I've learned as a business owner myself is I need my fall stuff in summertime, right? Like we got to be 2-3 months ahead of the seasons. If you think about Hobby Lobby, July, they've already got Christmas going, right? Like we have to be ready ahead of time. So what we try to do is our team works months and months ahead. So we're always like, Steph, I'm filming, and I'm always taking your examples and your suggestions. And I'm honestly, y'all, like, you think I would have gone into this to be my own boss? I seriously look at it as like, you're my boss. That's how I honestly look at it. So anytime y'all have suggestions or whatever, if it's reasonable and we can handle it, we try to do it. And then flyers. This is so cool. Again, I showed you my paint your pet flyer, which is so embarrassing. I showed that to you, so please give me grace with that. But now we have professional designers to where they create everything for us. So again, when I'm doing my paint party stuff, I literally just go to paint party headquarters, and I am still actively teaching paint parties to this day. I have a paint party on Tuesday. I have a paint party this, not tomorrow, but the next Saturday. And then I have a paint party on May 4th. So I'm constantly doing this and still have my finger on the pulse so I can make sure things need tweaked. This is working in the market. This is not working in the market. So I'm always trying to improve and be ready to help you. All right. And then when you sign up by Tuesday, April 16th at midnight, so write that on your calendar, Tuesday, April 16th at midnight, you will get a copy of the lookbook printed. Okay. So this is perfect for booking it. I sent 2 of these home. I should have brought way more on Wednesday. I sent 2 of these home on Wednesday and to book parties. Oh, yay. Kiara joined earlier today. Welcome. I'm so happy. That's awesome. Thank you for trusting us. And that's the thing, you can cancel anytime. Nobody's, being held hostage here. So it's not, you can come and go. Well, you can't come and go, but you can go as you please. Okay. So here, for as long as you sign up by Tuesday at midnight, you'll get the lookbook printed, mailed to you, and then you're going to get the magic script in your email. It's a downloadable. You'll get Backcountry Bear, and then you'll also get the creative content prompt calendar, and that's downloadable. Oh, Rosalind, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. That's awesome. All right, so that's the price. That's what it is. It's $47 a month, or you can commit to a year and say, hey, I'm going to do this, and then do the $423. And then the last thing I want to say before I answer questions. Okay, so this is us. Like, this is us. We are so happy to welcome you in. We started doing these events together about 4 years ago. We've actually done 4 years. Yes, it will, Bonnie. We've done 4 years of this now. And so next January, which is coming up soon, we are doing a cruise. We're doing Paint Party Business Live cruise. And so I'm so excited. And it's called Creatives at Sea. And so we have over 400 people already signed up out of our members. And so we're going to just take over the boat. And I'm just so excited. Like, this is us. Like, this is who we are. We're all about happiness. We're all about having fun. We're all about just being together. And yes, Lynn, you can absolutely sign up for the cruise. The reason I did it this way is, and when I talked to Utopia of the Seas, it's Royal Caribbean. When I talked to them, I said, I want to make sure, because like we have, 2024 of, new people coming in. I want to make sure they don't feel excluded. And I want to make sure that they can still sign up. So yes, when you join Paint Party headquarters, there is a link. We are not taking any extra money on our side. So it's just what the cruise is charging. And then we have a code you can use that will make sure that you get to the events, and it lays it all out. But we call it Business and Besties. And it's so fun just to get to go to the Bahamas together. And I'm just so excited. I cannot wait. So excited to do this with y'all. Okay, so if you want to join, here's the link. You can join. If you want to save that, you can, or screenshot it, or however. And then questions. Okay, so excited. Okay, so we're going to do some questions here. And I have 85. Okay, let me take a drink. Who thinks I can do rapid fire? Who has faith in me to do rapid fire? If it's the new people, y'all don't know me very well yet. Okay, I'm going to try to do rapid fire. And if you got to go, I know you got to go. It's okay. You can watch the replay. However, I'm going to do my best to stay focused. Victoria says, I know you can. I can do this. So I'm kind of long-winded, y'all. Y'all can keep asking questions. We'll just keep grabbing them. So if something sparks and you're thinking, oh, I need that answer, I will do my best to answer it. Okay, I'm nervous. Now I'll put the pressure on. Okay. All right. So let's see if I can do this. Okay. Let me get out of here. Okay. So my first set of questions. My heart's beating fast now that I've put the pressure on me. Okay. So let's see. My first set of questions. Let me see. Can y'all see my face? Okay. Awesome. Okay. So let me get here. Okay. Let me take a deep breath. Okay. Let's all take a deep breath. I'm feeling the pressure. One more deep breath. It's like when I know I got to do rapid fire, I get so nervous because I like to talk a lot. Okay. All right. So paint party questions. The first set is 58. Okay. I can do this. All right. Let's go. Ready, set, go. Okay. Question number 1. All right. Victoria Charrington says how to best itemize for taxes. Review of how to make flyers in Canva, mostly techie admin stuff. Okay, Victoria, great question. We use QuickBooks. So we use QuickBooks, and then we have one card that we use all for that. In the past, I did everything in a stack of receipts, and I don't recommend that. That's the old way. So just get it all and use one card for it. And then remember, you can write off glitter. You can also write this off, which is really cool. So part of your marketing expenses, part of that, like all of the stuff that you get inside Paint Party headquarters is a write-off. So that's really cool too. And then review on how to make flyers in Canva, mostly techie admin stuff. So the great thing about Paint Party headquarters is we have one of our team members, her name's Allison. Every single month, she does a tech hub where she is on a Zoom for 30 minutes and she does a different subject every single month. So usually there's already a training out there that I have done and pre-recorded. And here's the cool thing. We have, like, I'll do a live Q&A once a month. I do a peer-to-peer where, like on Tuesday at 11 a.m., we have a Zoom peer-to-peer. And this one is mindset related. So we'll be talking about mindset. Sometimes it's butts in the seat. Sometimes it's holiday promotions. Sometimes it's, get your fall stuff going, whatever that is. But this week it's mindset. So I come together with a subject. Then I divide you out based on level. We didn't always do this in the past, and I'm so glad we made this change. So if you are brand new and you've never taught a paint party, it's hard to sit and have a conversation with somebody who's done 100+ paint parties. It's just a different conversation. So what we do now is you get to go to a Zoom room based on your skills, which is really cool. And so what's happening and what's really cool about that is you end up making friends, and accountability partners and all of that. And that is I feel like one of my greatest accomplishments when it comes to Paint Party headquarters is when y'all post a picture of y'all have met for coffee, you have somebody in a town over. Like, that's one of my greatest accomplishments is seeing y'all become friends without me even being in the picture. Like, that makes me so happy. And so it's just one of the biggest things that I'm so proud of. And so I just keep pushing. I feel like I'm the creative matchmaker. Like, I'm trying to help you find your new best creative friend. Like, I feel like that's part of my role here. And so I think it's really, really fun. Okay, so yes, we have tech stuff all the time. Okay, question number 2. Heidi, where do you get your aprons? Deborah, I get them from apronsbythecase.com. Apronsbythecase.com. You can get them way cheaper on Amazon. Oh, and this is stuff you might want to write down, y'all, if you're new to this and you're wanting to take notes. Okay, Patty Axtell says, does PPHQ team provide pre-traced canvases? It didn't sound like it yet. I don't want to leave any question unasked in case someone is wondering too. Actually, Patty, we have Julie. She's a part of our team. Her and her husband run like a little sublimation business. And so that's where I get all my canvases. I order directly from her, and she has it set up to where all Paint Party headquarter members can order canvases pre-sublimated for her. She also has a guest spot training inside Paint Party headquarters where she teaches you how to sublimate, which I could have totally done, but I hate that part of the business. So I bought a sublimation press thing and then I returned it because I was like, I'm not doing that. And so her and her husband do that, and it is awesome. That's where I get all my canvases now. Okay, Gina asked, slowly getting excited to do this. Yay, Gina, I'm happy. When you spoke about other paint parties happening in town, that's exactly what I worried about, but they are way more expensive than I hoped to be. My question is, how do people book and prepay, and do I need to build a website? No, you do not need to build a website. And I usually recommend charging around $35 a person. And then also don't worry about other people, okay? There are several other paint party people in my town. And like I said, I have a paint party on Tuesday, a paint party on Saturday. It's okay. when you just put blinders on and focus on yourself. And you know, we had that challenge. How many of y'all took that challenge earlier when I said, pray for yourself, your business, and pray for your competition? Remember we talked about that? And think about the bread aisle. There's a 1,000 different breads on the bread aisle, and they are all still in business. So we don't need every paint party to make this work. You know, we just need a few. All right. So Susan says, how do you decide cost number of group if I send flyer interest paint party? Let's see. How do you decide the cost of the number of the group if I send flyer interest for a paint party for the first time? So Susan, I charge $35 a person. I usually have like at least a minimum of 6, but as high as they want to go. So my price is per person, but with my minimum. Again, that can be different for all of you. Like, again, I'm going to give you all the advice that, you know, I wish I would have known, but you can tweak it. You might be like, Heidi's crazy, I ain't doing that. Or, you know, I like this part of it, but I don't like that. That's totally fine. Rhonda says, Heidi, I was looking at Marketplace with Facebook. Do you pay to advertise on that platform or is it free? Can you give a breakdown of the rules? So Facebook Marketplace is like the wild, wild west. Sometimes they allow you and sometimes they don't. I had some of my posts rejected a few weeks ago when I was posting something. In the past, I could post all of my events all the time, and now they're getting a little bit trickier. So it depends on the Facebook group. There are some Facebook groups that are like buy, sell, trade, anything you want page, and some are not. And again, that has to do with that Facebook group. So that's unfortunately not, you know, it's not up to me. It's up to that group admin. Okay, Nathalie says, do you ever use hashtags for the after party post when you use them? If you have a personal Instagram, do you post it there too? Okay, Nathalie, yes, sometimes I do use hashtags, and I know hashtags are important and all of that. So I kind of sometimes get lazy with that, and I just do a thank you post. And I mean, anybody been a lazy marketer every once in a while? I know I'm not the only one. Don't make me feel alone right now. Okay, so yes, sometimes I get lazy, but we try to put hashtags on all our reels and things like that. And then yes, if you have a personal Instagram, that's up to you. So I know on Instagram you can have your business. I only have a business Instagram. I don't have a personal. So everything is just literally ran through my business Instagram. Okay, let's see. Cheryl, I think I'm doing good with the timing. Okay, focus. Okay, Cheryl says, I am in Canada. Having pre-printed canvases would be costly. What is an option? I believe you mentioned using carbon paper. How do I print the size of the canvas? Cheryl, great question. Okay, until Julie started doing sublimation, Bobby was in charge of all the carbon paper and all the tracing. So he would just put on a show and he would just trace until his heart was content. And so now he is so happy when I order from Julie. Carbon paper is an easy way. And then if you want to make it look a little bit better, you can go over it with a Sharpie. So don't let something like, well, I can't sublimate, because until about 4 months ago, we have only done carbon paper. That's it, like traced it. So don't let things like that stop you, because I'm telling you, we will let anything stop us if we can. So just be cautious with that. So yeah, just get some carbon paper. And then the coolest part is all those designs you saw, which there's more than even that. We have tracers ready to go. So you just have to go print them, and then they come out, and then you tape them together and then trace them, which is really cool. All right, Denise says, hi, can you please allocate some time to talk about sublimation? Oh, we just talked about that. I've done some research on it since last night, but I have lots of questions. Someone mentioned a sublimation pen in the comments last night. Please explain. Okay, so sublimation pen, and where is my lookbook? Oh, good. I have it in here. I left a bunch of stuff in my art studio. Oh, Brendan, can you ask Bobby if he can grab, Brendan doesn't live here, but she's on the chat. Brendan, we got that came out weird. Can you ask Bobby if he can grab my lookbook and my other books I have in there? That'd be awesome. Okay, so sublimation, and there is like a sublimation type pen. Y'all, I'm so random. There is like a sublimation pin. And then also sublimation we had just talked about. We do have a full training inside Paint Party headquarters. Now, here's the thing I want you to know about me. I will never, if I don't know the answer, I will tell you I don't know the answer. I'm never going to be one of those people that's like, I know it all. And I've, blah, blah, blah. Like, I know I've done this a long time, but I still know that there's always room to grow. And there's always things that I might not be that good at, right? Like, hence the embarrassing flyer, right? Like, hence that. So a sublimation is one of those things where I don't want to touch it. I don't like it. It's not fun. It's not, I just don't like it. I get bored. I don't know what's wrong with me. But anyway, so there are trainings for that. So just because I can't teach it to you doesn't mean I don't go seek out the best of the best to get you that information. So if I don't know it or I can't teach it, just like Paint Your Pet. I mean, obviously I've taught some Paint Your Pets, but I'm not that good at it. So I have different things where I can get you that information. Okay, lookbook. Yes, Denise. Okay, so this lookbook is one of the bigger ones. Okay, so I want to explain. So this lookbook right here, this is what I recommend. And you get this inside Paint Party headquarters. Now this has been a game changer. If you only use Paint Party headquarters just for this, it's going to be worth it because we have it set up to where you can put your information in here. And we also have an edited version, so you can edit the whole thing. So this is a bigger version, and I'll tell you why this one's bigger versus the one in there in just a second. Okay, so what we have is we have had it designed, not by me, because I'm not good at that. We've had it designed by season, okay? So it has all of these paintings, and this is an older one. So we try every quarter to update the paintings based on new stuff because we're constantly bringing in new stuff. So what we did was we had this huge one. What happened was we had like some, door hangers and stuff. And because we didn't have all of the step-by-step instructions and all of the bells and whistles that go with some of these, that it was confusing a lot of the members because they would go, oh, I found this and I want to get the printout for it. And we didn't have it. So what we did was we scaled it back to every single painting. So when you go inside Paint Party headquarters and you pull up the lookbook, you can be certain that if you print that thing out, that every painting in there has all the bells and whistles. So you have the marketing flyers, you have the Facebook flyer, you have every single thing that could go with that. So we made it that way on purpose so that you could feel confident taking this to an event and somebody saying, yes, I want to book this party with this painting, and then you have access to that. So we were very, very, very intentional about that. Okay. Denise also asked, you have a dolly painting in your room. Is that a painting for workshops? We do have access to do one of the dolly paintings that I got approval. We don't have it in this book, but there is a dolly painting that we got approval from Dolly's team. So it is approved. However, I highly recommend not putting it on Etsy, things like that, because those platforms can just shut you down and they don't know the rights that we have for that. And then you mentioned a cruise, please explain. Yes, we just talked about the cruise a minute ago. And then we're actually, for those of y'all with a pen, we're actually on April. Oh, thank you. I said, Brenda doesn't live with us, but the way I said it, it sounded like she was like living here in the next room. It was a little weird. Okay, so we do have a cruise info meeting on, so those of you that are joining Paint Party headquarters, if you'll write this down, it's Thursday, April 25th at 12 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Central. So if you want to know more about the cruise, we will go into full detail all about the cruise for that. Okay, all right, the next question. Terry says, Terry Walters, I think I'm saying that right. She says, my issue is venues. I would love to have my own building, but can't afford that. Don't do that. No business in our areas have even acted slightly interested. How do you get them interested? And how do I go up against the others in town with their own building? Sorry for the run-on sentence. Oh, that's okay. Terry, I do run-on. This whole thing's been a run-on sentence. Again, let me breathe. I get so excited, I forget to breathe. Okay, so I choose to be mobile. Okay, really be very, very like, here's what I tell people about a brick and mortar. You can have a brick and mortar, but what I recommend is be mobile first, stack that money away. So if you know you got to pay 1,000 in rent, go ahead and put that 1,000 away every single month for 6 to 8 months and see if you still want the brick and mortar, because there are a lot of responsibilities with that. Now, if you find that nobody is wanting your business in that area or they're not acting interested, here's the real truth, y'all. You are going to, I just say it like this and you can love me or hate me for it. But out of 10 times again, we have a magic script, so it helps so much. If you use the script I tell you to, and you do how I train you to do this, you can actually get a lot of parties. That's the easier part. However, I prepare everyone to hear 9 no's for 1 yes. Just prepare your soul. Prepare yourself that when you're an entrepreneur, it's not for the weak. Okay. We get our feelings hurt. We're artists. We're emotional. We're empathetic, right? Like we get our feelings hurt. But once you've heard no so many times, it just rolls off. Like it doesn't even matter anymore. And the great thing about with the magic script is you don't get your feelings hurt that much, because the way I teach you to do it, it doesn't bruise you as much as if you're going up to somebody and somebody's saying no. So don't worry too much about that. Okay, let's see. How do you find that craft paint has enough coverage? So you do not need like really expensive paints. This is the Deco Art Americana. And so you don't need these expensive, acrylic paints. Again, I'm charging $35, and this is not a hardcore art class. This is a fun get together, as you saw at the paint party. Put some blue and white. Like it's not like this technical art class. So it's a totally different thing. Karen asked, how do you know how much paint you will need per painting and then calculate how much per group? So Karen, hopefully you saw day 2. If you did not see day 2, I highly recommend it. Me and Pixie went through fully how to choose paint, why we choose so much, what happens with that. I remember teaching a Christmas angel at this adorable girl's birthday party, and the angel, we designed the painting together. And she ended up having a red dress on the angel, and I forgot red paint. Legit forgot red paint. And I was in the country and was like, this sucks. This is her birthday. It's a Christmas angel. And I just felt like crap. So anyway, I was like, oh, this sucks. So anyway, I was like asking, I didn't want the parents to know, y'all. I didn't want the parents to know, and I did not have time to run to Michael's. It was like 30 minutes away. So I look at that sweet little girl on her birthday, and I'm like, hey, I know you're an artist. Do you have any red paint in your craft room? And she's like, yeah. She like ran in, grabbed some red paint, and I was like, then I told them all. But I was just like, what? How can I forget red paint on a Christmas painting? Oh my gosh, it was awful. So anyway, yes, Karen, we go into exact step by step on that. So that was Tuesdays. But basically, if you know you need, 1 bottle for every 3 people and you have 10 people, bring 5 bottles. Always bring a few extra. Always. Haiti says, how can I start my painting business? I'm excited to learn from you and others on how to market myself and be successful while having fun. Okay, so Haiti and everyone, I challenge you to not look at it as starting a whole business, right? That is a lot of pressure. I look at it as do a guinea pig party. That's it. Okay. So my sister, she is, oh my gosh, she's really good at paint pours. She just sent me these as presents, which I am obsessed with. And I have another one over there that she did for me. And she actually did it as a present. I wrote a book a few months ago, and she wanted to give me a gift. And so she made me a present in the colors of my book, and I was so excited about it. I would bring it over, but the frame's a little broke right now, but I'll post a picture of it later. But she is so talented at it, and she's asking me all of these things about starting a paint party business. And so I'm telling her, like, she wants to know this and a logo and this. And I'm like, Nika, no, like, you just got to send the magic script. Like, that's it, like nothing else. Like, and so really let's try not to start about it, think about it as a whole business. If I would have thought about everything I had to do, 17 years ago to now, like my head would explode, but if you just take one step at a time, it's so much easier. So can everybody pinky promise one step at a time? Put it in the chat if you pinky promise one step at a time. Let's see if anybody's doing it. Let me see. Pinky swear. Okay, good, Desiree. Thank you. It's important. Okay, good. Okay, Donna, you got it, dude. Okay, good. Good. Pinky promise, because if not, you're going to burn yourself out. You're going to freak out, all of that stuff. And I really, really don't want you to do that, because man, if you can harness the power of paint parties and actually do this, it is so profitable. And I just am so excited to see what you do. Okay, so Daryl says, I'm excited to learn how to do online paint parties and the marketing to succeed. Daryl, okay, so this is what I tell everybody. Okay, all of y'all interested in online, put a 1 in the chat if you're interested in teaching online paint parties. So here's the deal that I tell everybody with online. The quickest way to cash is in-person paint parties. That's the quickest way. You can book a party within 3 weeks, technically already being profitable from that very first party. Because the way I teach it is scrappy. I teach you to be scrappy. I don't teach you to go get a business loan. I don't teach you to go, rack up $10,000 worth of debt and then you can do a paint party. I literally teach you to just buy for that paint party. And so if you watch the way I teach you and do it that way, you're going to have so much confidence because you're going to immediately have a profit from that first party. Now, online parties, do I recommend them? Yes. Okay. But online is a longer path. So I just like to be way upfront and honest that I definitely think you should grow an online business. You should do all of that. And we have like further training for that. And we do have online paint party trainings inside Paint Party headquarters. So we have like 3 different module trainings that walk you through all of that. So I definitely want you, to pursue that if that's what you're interested in. But I do want to be very honest that does take longer. Okay. Sherry Herbert, is it Helpert? I hope I'm saying that right, Sherry. I'm sorry if I'm not. She says, it's those emails. I'm set up for constant contact, but I only have 3 emails. I need all the help to collect the emails to put them in my email constant contact. I know it's also about time management. Thank you, Heidi, for all you do. You're welcome, Sherry. I did have 4 paint parties already. Oh, let's congratulate Sherry on her 4 paint parties. That's awesome. And I've got 2 on the books for April and 2 more inquired for paint parties yet to be confirmed dates. Any help to get emails and get them in constant contact? And then what emails to send out after when I have them in constant contact? Okay. Remember when if you watched on the last video, the 3rd training, right? And if you didn't go back to the 3rd training, this is what I do at my parties. I literally have them. I mean, and we have pretty sheets for this. This is not professional. This is not the way to do it. But use the sheet that I give you. Okay, there's a beautiful sheet that you can print, but I sometimes, get busy and then I just grab some colored paper and write it up. But when I always keep these, so I make sure to input these into constant contact. From constant contact, then you can send them. Also, Sherry, we have, because I know you're a member, we have that we have that training inside Paint Party headquarters. So post that question and then we will get you the exact training. Another thing, you're getting your emails after you have your party. So people are signing up for your stuff and then you're getting those emails. Now you're starting to build your local audience. Okay. And that is very, very important to build your local audience. And then also make sure after your party, like I didn't want to confuse y'all on the training on yesterday. I didn't want to confuse you, but I did send an email with the group picture to all of these people. And I said, thank you so much for coming. I'm so happy you were here. Here's the group picture. You can find more on Texas Art and Soul. Also, let me know if you're ready to book a party. So that's definitely what you do. Okay, let's see. Desra asks, where do you get your aprons monogrammed at? So I just went to a local person. So I bought my aprons at apronsbythecase.com, which you can also get a monogram through them. But then I've also bought some where I just took them to a local monogrammer. Susan says, can members paint the design alongside you at your party? Perhaps we can pay a fee to be a fly on the wall. Susan, lots of members have come to my parties and I welcome that. So they'll sign up and they actually pay to come, and then they tell me they're a member. They're like, hey, I'm a part of Paint Party headquarters. And then they can hang out with me and paint along and all of that stuff. So yes, I highly recommend that. So if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and you want to come to one of my parties, or you're close to Junk Gypsy on May 4th, you could come and be a part of that. Cheryl says, I noticed you use Deco Art paint, but could you use other brands in your paint parties? Yes, Cheryl. I used to use only paint from Walmart, Craft Smart, and then I started using the Deco Art Americanas. And honestly, I just really like the coverage better. I know earlier we were talking about coverage. I really like the coverage better. It makes the paintings turn out way better. Carr says, what glitter brand of paint did she grab this morning? So the glitter brand, which I love, is Deco Art Crystal. So it's called Deco Art. Oh, what is that one name? My team should know. I don't know the exact name of it, but the one that I pick is Crystal. I used to do all the colors, but now I just do those. Okay. All right, everybody stand up. We need to take a quick break. Everybody stand. Stretch it out. I see you, Jennifer. See you stretching. Get a moment. Shake off just shake it out. Okay. Deep breath. Whew. Okay. That feels good. All right. All right. We're in it to win it, right? Okay. All right. Let's see. Sherry says, where do you get your ideas for drawing for the paint party? Also, how and where do you find venues for paint parties? Do they take places in stores like Painting with a Twist, or in participant homes like Tupperware or Mary Kay parties? I suppose anywhere. So Sherry, okay, you can get inspiration from literally anywhere and everywhere. I mean, there was like a virtual baby shower last night for one of our members that somebody had invited me to. And they were showing the wrapping paper. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that fox. And just so much cuteness. So you can be inspired anywhere. If you're an artist, I know we just look around and we're inspired by everything. And then also we look at what is on trend. So right now, if you walk into a Hobby Lobby, you're going to see mushrooms everywhere. So what am I going to paint? I'm going to paint a mushroom, right? So we try to find what's on trend and we stay on trend. That's one of the things that I really pride ourselves on is we really do, like, we try to hear what you're needing in your areas, and we really try to stay on trend. Again, we can't do everything perfect, but we really, really, really try for you. And so that's one of our things. And then also we don't teach at Painting with a Twist. That's a franchise. So Painting with a Twist is like, to get a franchise is like $100,000, I think, to have a franchise. This is not a franchise. This is, you're paying for rights to my designs, but you can use whatever designs you want. You're paying for rights to all my trainings, all my experience, all of the meetings. That's what you're getting. So you can use it and change it and whatever you need to do to make it yours. So you can basically teach anywhere. I've taught in a barn. I've taught in a gym. I've taught on the floor. Like anywhere people will allow you to gather is okay. All right. So Car asks, I can't wait to see how you set up your paint portion, especially for designs that have lots of colors like Meet Me and Capri. That one was a bit challenging, so I hope you show us. So I just did a Meet Me and Capri, this one, at a party a few weeks ago, and one person chose it because we had like a painter's choice, and we did cups. So we had everything put in 1 ounce Amazon cups because it was a painter's choice, and then we just distributed that way. So sometimes that's an easier way. And we're going to be doing that for a couple of upcoming parties that have more people, just so we're not so frantic trying to put out paint right before. Okay, let's see. Carla says, do you have a place where you get your supplies at a discount or buying bulk? Yes, Carla. So we do have several wholesalers that we recommend inside Paint Party headquarters, and our brushes and ceramics, things like that. We do recommend those. And Myrtle asked, how many people share a small bottle of paint? What size liner do you recommend? Oh, okay. So the liner is it's just the small, a small one you can get. I think it might be a 1 or a 0 for a liner. And then a small bottle of paint, depending on, like, if we're doing a snowman and there's only the orange carrot nose, like they only need this much, so as you do this, and I said this to somebody in the chat, I said this in a Facebook post the other day, and I hope it did not hurt their feelings, but please write this down. Somebody told me this about 10 years ago, and I am so grateful I learned, not even 10 years ago, probably about 6 years ago. And she said, don't trip over pennies to make dollars. Okay. I really want you to hear me on that. I'm going to say it again for you in the back. Don't trip over pennies to make dollars. So if you're worried about, this much paint being wasted, I mean, sometimes, and I know some of you are going to cringe right now, but sometimes there will be a whole plate of paint that just gets thrown in the trash. I've had to accept that in order to move forward and keep teaching paint parties. If I'm spending all my time scraping paint, and I know that's wasteful, and I get it. And I know, some of our spirits are like, I can't take that. But I kind of just came to, that's a part of doing business. Sometimes restaurants cook a lot of food right before closing, and they either send it home with employees or it gets thrown out, or they take it to shelter or whatever. So you just got to know that's part of doing business, and don't trip over pennies to make dollars. Seriously, it will stop you, and you won't make any money. All right, let's see. And you'll get better at knowing like how much paint to give people. Let's see. Cindy asked, how do you set up and organize your business expenses for keeping records? Again, we talked about that earlier. Great question. And that is, what you call it? QuickBooks. We put it all in QuickBooks. And then also, I'm afraid of not being able to do all the shopping, marketing, setup, and record keeping all by myself, and just not be able to constantly keep up with it all. Is it doable by myself, or am I going to need a team? 1 to 2 people maybe in getting started, and build from there. Cindy, just do one practice party. Start with a practice party. I did all of this stuff myself for many years. I mean, Pixie was 5 when she started helping, a little bit here. And as much as a 5-year-old can help, she was throwing stuff around. And I was like, if I just keep training her, I know she'll be the best paint party host ever. And she really is so good at it now. But yeah, I mean, at the beginning, everything was on me. Bobby was working full time at his jobs, and I was, working full time and doing this on the side. So a lot of times, don't try to hire people right off the bat. Just have a practice party. Seriously, like, don't even right now worry about organizing your business expenses. Just literally have a practice party. Okay. Take action before your brain tells you you're scared. Okay. Let's see. Oh my gosh, y'all, this is the last question of this set. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, Carol says, how many parties do you have a week? Where do you find the best success in finding people to participate? So Carol, you can have as little or as many as you want. So what you want to do is look at your schedule. If your schedule is, you're working full time, we have so many, and let me know if you're watching and you already work full time. Okay. That was me for many, many years before I quit and did paint parties full time. So I was doing paint parties basically full time while I had a full-time job. So that is what I recommend at first, is just do 1 or 2 a month while you're working your full-time job. Because number one, you have connections. You have people right there that you're talking to all the time. They're seeing you do this. Some of our most successful paint party people are the people that have full-time jobs. And the reason I believe that to be true is because when we are working full-time, we have to schedule our stuff and make it happen. It's either going to happen or it's not going to happen, but we don't have any time to worry about it because we're working full-time. So I say, just, definitely have, have 1 or 2 a month if you're working full-time, or just one one party a month if you're working full time. And then you can build from there. I'm never, because of my bankruptcy, I will never, ever be the person that's like, quit your full-time job, everything will be fine. Like, you'll never hear me say that, because I know paint party businesses, and all businesses, not just paint party, all businesses do this. That's entrepreneurship. It's not, and we stay there forever. Like, that's not real life. And so, so if you're, doing this, I highly recommend, until you get your business up to a certain point, you'll know when it's time. And then a lot of people too, they use this as all their extra fund money, or they're paying down debt or whatever it is. And then it doesn't put that pressure. Okay. All right. Let's take a deep breath, and then we're going to the next set. Okay. How's everybody doing? Let me check in while I take some spray. I feel like I'm just like, Brendan, can that's cracking me up. The way I said it was like she was in the next room. I can't get over that. Okay, Cindy's still with me. Anybody else besides Cindy still with me? Are we good? Do we need to do jumping jacks? We can if needed. I'm gonna have a glass of wine after all these questions. Deborah's here. Okay, good. Awesome. Yeah, let me know if you're still here. Jennifer, awesome. Lori, good. Okay, good. And if you, have any questions, please ask. The team is putting them in a spreadsheet for me. Okay, all right. And just a quick reminder before I go into the next set of questions. The doors close Tuesday at midnight. So if you are thinking you want to be a part of Paint Party Headquarters, remember, if you're not, oh, Linda, yay, Linda's here. And Kiara, yay, good. And Lydia and Rosalind, good. Julie, awesome. So if you're thinking you want to be a part of Paint Party Headquarters, you have till Tuesday, and then you get all of those bonuses, all of those extras. And then of course, we will be immediately meeting on Tuesday for the peer-to-peer. So you'll immediately get access to the April calendar, to the discount codes, all of that good stuff. And then all the different things we have. So we have so much fun stuff. Okay. All right. Desra says, do you have any videos that showcase all the types of materials that you use to paint on and how to do it? Yes. For instance, wine glasses, acrylic, or porcelain figures. We don't have porcelain figures. And not sure what else to paint. Oh, you probably mean like ceramics. Yes, we do have ceramics. And if you do wine glasses, how do you send the customer off with wine glasses while they are wet, and do you send instructions? Yes. So we have a really cute, and we're going to be getting some more wine glasses. Oh, Victoria has margaritas left. Dang it. Victoria on the cruise. Let's share a margarita. So yeah, so we have a wine glass, but I honestly want to kind of beef up our wine glass section. So we will be having more of that. But what I recommend, Desiree, is that we have a little thing that you can just print, and you send that with them. So the glass paint dries really fast, and then you can send the directions on how they put it in the oven. Okay, let's see. Kathy says, how to boost self-esteem when you are clueless on how to host a paint party. I'm a beginner at a painting, so I feel like I don't have near the experience needed. Also, is it unprofessional to use tracers? Kathy, definitely not unprofessional. Oh my gosh. When I started using tracers, my paint party people were so relieved. They literally, Wednesday, I don't know if you saw it on the video, but one of them saw the traced cow, and they were just like, oh, thank God. Like immediately, it took off the pressure. Remember, you're teaching a paint party, not a hardcore art lesson, okay? And then the second part of that, she says, how to boost self-esteem when you're clueless. Just a quick thing. When I first started teaching this, I was a wreck. I mean, I would like handwrite each and every step. It was before we had all the beautiful steps typed for us that I could have just printed. Instead, I was handwriting every single thing. Do this, do this, do this, because I was so scared. And I remember one time I was teaching Starry Night, and I had all of them behind the easel thinking that they were looking at me. They weren't looking at me. I looked up, and every single person was just like terrified. They were at their own canvases. And that's when I realized it's more about me helping them, not being this best artist, standing on a stage, doing everything right. It's more about helping them succeed than helping myself look like a great artist. So we do have all the steps so you can print them. And then that way and literally, like whenever I was teaching on Wednesday, you probably didn't even know this because I do it so out of habit. If I forget where I'm at, I'm like standing by somebody's thing, looking at their directions. Oh yeah. Okay, next step is like, because I have it. I have my cheat sheet. I have my notes, right? So you will be nervous at first, and that is okay. I think that means you care, right? If you weren't nervous and you didn't care, like, and then you're going to get better at it. But that's really, Kathy, the best way to grow your self-esteem is taking action through fear. Okay. Lori says, I live in a small town, about 6,000 population, and there is an artist that teaches classes already. She's very popular with adults and children. She teaches all sorts of art classes, not just painting. I'm wondering how sustainable this business would really be here, especially with an established artist already. Next town over is too far to drive to have a paint party. Okay, Lori, so I'm going to challenge you a little bit. Is that okay? Is that okay? Hopefully it'll help you or help somebody else. So I really truly feel like not every art teacher is for everybody. Just like my personality is not for everybody. Just like your personality is not for everybody. So I can guarantee you that there are probably some people in that town that maybe they want a different style, or maybe they want something, different or new or changed up. Also, I'm going to challenge you to possibly, you don't know how long she's going to do this for. You don't know if y'all could end up, being friends, having coffee together. What if she's sick one day and she's had all these classes scheduled? There are literally people in our group that have, instead of embraced competition, they have embraced friendship, and they literally have like helped each other. If they had to call in sick, hey, can you cover my paint party? So I challenge you to look at it differently. Like I said, there are many other paint party people in my town. Some of my paint party people, because they follow me, everything on Texas Art and Soul is about is about paint party headquarters. And so I'll have people who've been painting with me and then they become a member. And so I'm like, yeah, okay, and then now, I've trained my competition. But I know that I don't mind sharing because I know there's enough. And then as far as the driving, I don't know how far your drive is, but and maybe this is just my attitude. And again, you can look at it how you want. And I know everybody has their own story and their own belief systems, but I just feel like if there's money out there, just go pick it up. That's how I truly feel. And I have literally had parties. We used to live in Florida, remember? I've literally had parties where I've driven from Texas to South Florida and paid for the whole vacation. Yep, we painted and we worked a little, but it paid for all kinds of stuff. And I drive 2 hours for parties now. I'm about to drive for Junk Gypsy. I think it's 3.5 or 4 hours from my house. And I put in a podcast if it makes sense. I'm not saying do it if you're taking a loss, okay? But if it makes sense for your company, if it makes sense for your business, if it makes sense, you want to go visit some family, but we call it traveling paint parties. You want to go visit family, but you really don't have the money to go visit. Well, set up a paint party, help pay your way. So I do parties, anywhere from, an hour to me is, and I'm in Texas, so we drive everywhere. Like an hour is like going, it takes me 30 minutes to get to the grocery store, so if I want a Starbucks or the grocery store, it's 30 minutes minimum. Like that's just my life. And so to me, that doesn't mean as much. Now, if you live in a city where everything is 2 minutes away, you might think 30 minutes is crazy talk. But to me, that's every day going to the grocery store or wherever, anywhere we need. And Pixie drives an hour and 15 minutes to her college. She does dual credit. So she's doing dual credit at this college. She drives an hour and 15 minutes each way. So to us, it's not a big deal. So I think it's just the way you're used to that. All right. And then let's see. the next question. Okay, Linda Amaya says, I'm close to retirement and just have recently started Facebook. How do you do this business if you're not already on Facebook or have a following and you're not 20 and you're not 20 anymore? Linda, I love that question. Oh my gosh. So the way I teach this is through, okay, so if you don't have a Facebook, you can still use the magic scripts through email. You can use it. You can literally do old school. I have done this more times than I can tell you. You can do old school by sending your lookbook, your flyer, whatever, to all the different churches and ministry within an hour radius. I used to do that every single year. I blocked out an amount of time. I would go to a coffee shop and I would pull up every address and every single thing, and I'd spend $50 in postage. And then somebody contacted me back and they're like, hey, let's do a party. It's like $900. Was that $50 worth of postage worth it? Yes, it was. And then I did parties for them for several years. So always remember, there are other ways to do this. And before I knew how to really use Facebook, everything was done through mail or email or whatever, or going to the place. I mean, God forbid we actually talk to real people, right? Like stopping in, hey, how you doing? You know, there's all kinds of ways. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about that, Linda. Shelley says, will you mail the lookbook to Canada? Yes, we do mail it to Canada. Correct me if I'm wrong, team. I think we do mail it to Canada. In Puerto Rico, I think. Rosalind says, are the supply list and step-by-step instructions available for us to use for parties? Yes. And do you teach us how to trace or sublimate the painting outlines, or do we learn that on? No, we teach you all of it. Literally, this is Paint Party headquarters. We teach you everything and give you everything. We try to give you everything we can. So we are, I don't know if you've gotten any of this from this week, but we really try to overgive. Like I'm a person who, if I'm doing something, I'm doing it 150%. That's with you. That's with my paint parties. Like, I hope you have seen that this week. And my team is the same way. They are amazing. They really, really kick butt, and they love, love, love to help you. Okay. And they just told me we mail to Canada, US, and Puerto Rico. So if you don't live in those areas, because we have people in Paris and Scotland and all of these places all over the world, you still get access to the virtual copy, so you can get it printed in your area. All right. Haiti asked, how much is the PPHQ yearly? I think it's 423. I think you get, is it 3 months free? We all correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 3 months free. I'm almost positive it's 3 months free if you do the yearly. And then if I remember right, it's 420. Oh, good, Rosalind. Yeah, 423. Okay, let's see. How do you handle, Haiti also asked, how do you handle cancellations and refunds? How do I put it in words if somebody cancels? Well, actually in paper. Also, I am very shy. I want to learn how to overcome that fear, do a live, virtual, and social media parties. Okay, so the first one you asked, I have, anytime people sign up, oh, good, I did it. Okay, good. And anytime people sign up for my paint parties, on the bottom, it says no refunds. However, if somebody's sick and, you know, like I usually like, okay, so last week is a perfect example. We had 12 people sign up for this party. And this was on Saturday, last Saturday. 12 people signed up and 4 people did not show up. Okay. Well, actually, they showed up. It was the husbands, but they ended up going and drinking because it was a distillery. So they were like, we're just going to go over here and drink. So I stacked all their stuff up. I gave them brushes. I gave them all the paint. Like I literally just grabbed the bottles and gave them bottles of paint, the pre-done canvases, all the instructions that we already have for you were just printed, ready to go. And I said, hey, thank you so much. Here's all of your stuff. So I didn't have to give a refund, and it was easy money. I didn't even have to teach them. I just gave them their stuff and they took it. And then also, like if somebody's sick, I'll offer them like a credit to the next class, or I'll say, if they really want a refund, I'm not a monster. I'm going to give a refund. So that, I mean, some people have a very strict no refund policy, but it depends on the situation. Again, that's why you can be a great company. And again, that's what's going to make you stand apart. And that's what's going to make people keep coming back to you and back to you, because you actually care about them and not just about the profit. So I think it's really important to keep that in mind. let's see. Oh, in the part where she says, I'm very shy and I want to learn how to overcome that fear, do a live virtual. Okay. How many of you are introverts? Just put a 1 if you're an introvert. And if you're an extrovert, put a 2. Okay. Lydia says, I'm definitely confident. This is my time. Oh, good. Okay, lots of 1s. Okay, Tammy 2, and Jennifer 1.5. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, so y'all, I know this sounds crazy, but I'm kind of like Jennifer. I'm kind of like a half and half. I can be extroverted when I need to, but oh my gosh, if I've had so many people talk, because I got a lot of voices in my head. I don't know if y'all do, but there's a lot of voices in my head going on at all times of the day and night. And so I have to have my time alone. Like I love Bobby and Pixie with all of my heart, but do not talk to me before coffee, and please don't look me in the eye before 10 a.m. Like I just, Bobby asked a question this morning. I hadn't even had a sip of coffee, and I just said, I love you, but I have not had 1 drink of coffee. Like, can you give me a minute? I need my time. I need my alone time. So, you don't have to be this overly bubbly person to do this. I know like my personality comes out that way because I can be extroverted when it's game time and when people start showing up. But before people walk in that door, before we hit live on Wednesday for that paint party, before we hit live, I was a mess. Do we have everything? Is it ready? Is this is the Wi-Fi good? Is this happening? I mean, I was a mess. And as soon as we hit live, turn it on. It's just like when you go to your job. We're not going to go to our full-time job and ho hum. I'm not, we step it up. We make it happen, and you can make it happen too. And that's why I love paint parties so much, is because it gets you out of your head and you make it happen. Okay. Get you out of your head. It's almost like a mental vacation. And I want you to write that down. If you're taking notes, mental vacation. I'm telling you, you saw that picture of me at that paint party. I am happy. I am in my go zone. Like it is awesome. And there's nothing better than that feeling. And plus you're making great money. Like it's not like chump change. It's great money when you do it. All right. So Debbie says, do you ever send all your pictures to the host of your party? Debbie, all the time. All the time. A lot of times I do it while I'm teaching. I'll be taking pictures throughout. And if, one of my hosts, she's on Facebook Messenger. And so I'll just send her a ton of them. Tammy asked, what do you charge for online versus in-person paint parties? Okay, so like for example, the picture you saw with all the pumpkins, the online party I did for them, that one I charged $350 for the hour. So it was for a company. So a company found me on YouTube, reached out to me, and then I said, yep, this is my rate. Then guess what I did? I sent them the supply list that's already done. I sent them the step-by-step instructions that's already done. I sent them the tracers, which they did not use. So some of the pumpkins look like apples, but that's okay. And so all of it's ready to go. And then I said, here's my rate. And then they hired me and then they paid me. So, so online paint parties, again, that is a longer process. Sometimes, I mean, for somebody to notice me on YouTube, it's taken a long time for me to have a YouTube following. So, so again, just know that the online is always worth it, but sometimes it takes longer. Okay, let's see. Where do you buy your brushes? Okay, so we have a great wholesaler inside Paint Party headquarters. We share that. I mean, obviously, hopefully you can respect me enough to know that some things are left just for our members. For example, you can't go and use all my designs and all of my stuff without paying for it. So I feel like we offer a very great price for what we give. And we are always trying to overgive. So we share our wholesalers and all of that inside of Paint Party headquarters. If you are not a part of it, I go to Amazon. You can get them really cheap there too. Okay, is it Mogen? I hope I'm saying that right. Mogen, maybe? I'm so sorry if I'm messing that up. And do you cancel the paint party if the number who have signed up are not enough, like less than 10 people? And do you refund the money that they have already paid? So yes. So if the party, so one time I had a party of 4 people It was right across the street. And I just literally was like, okay, I can do this. It's right across the street. I've already gotten everything ready, and it's still 35 times 4. Like, that's still a lot of money for a couple hours work. So I did it, and I'm so thankful I did, because that led to a private party, which led to them coming to my monthly restaurant. I mean, it just led to a lot of other money. So do not, I repeat, do not discount small parties. Okay. Do not discount them. However, if it is like, if you're like, go, 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 and it doesn't meet your minimum, which I've had many parties that did not meet my minimum and it was not going to happen, I make sure to cancel. And those times I definitely refund. I feel like when you're canceling, you should honor that and refund. So that's one of the reasons why I tell you never to spend your money until your party's done. Only spend enough money to get your supplies, and then save the rest of the money until your party's done. And do you know how I learned that lesson? See, anybody know? Anybody want to guess? I spent my money before the party happened, and then we had to cancel the party, and I had to figure out where to get that money. Yes, Desiree, trial and error. So I can tell you, I have made every single mistake in the book and still make them to this day. So I am your guinea pig, so to speak. Okay, let's see. Do you schedule the time and date for the paint party first, then inform people about it? Or do people need to inquire about the party and you arrange a specific day and time? Both, actually. So when you use the magic script, you are booking the party with that host or venue, for example. Then if somebody's contacting you, then it might be for a birthday party or a church event and they have a date in mind. Then you look at your calendar and make sure it's okay. Here's the really cool part about the paint party business. When you start getting yourself out there and your name out there, like at first it feels like, I got to do everything. I got to get, and then you start to build a reputation, and then people are like, oh, they're the paint, she's the paint party person. And then it gets to where it's like people are contacting you, which is really cool when you get to that. Or you have your venues that you do every year or every quarter or every month, which is really, really cool. Okay, let's see. Kiara asks, I'm a pretty crafty person and post on multiple pages, but I'm nervous about participation and getting started. My town has recently started doing more events for the community, and I'd love to bring this in as a contribution. My question would be, what is the best way to kind of introduce it to possibly guarantee at least 5 people to start, and how often would be good? My advertising skills are not as strong as I'd like them to be. That's okay. Okay, so what I recommend is do it's okay if your first party is free. Limit it. You don't want to say free paint party and you have 100 people sign up and now you're out, $1,000 or whatever. Limit it. Maybe you say 10 people in the community, first 10 people, I'm going to do, a paint party and try this out. And then you can collect their emails, do a couple door prizes, and then and then you have all these beautiful marketing photos to post. Okay. I'm totally okay if you do that, especially because it's going to get your feet wet and get you moving in the right direction. So I would do that first. And then also we're about to do a training on this, but if you have a what you call it, a Chamber of Commerce in your area, that's a great place to go to. All right, Sue asked, will the Zoom call be available to watch back at all? Oh, yes. Yeah, we'll have the replay. Are the tracers in different sizes? Yes. So the tracers are in 3 sizes. Okay. And then if you don't like those sizes, you can put them in block poster. So a lot of times you saw on Wednesday, I had that giant painting. I took our tracer and I put it in block poster and I made it into a huge one. And then I painted a giant one for an example. Let's see. Diane asked, when doing a party at a restaurant, do you add a fee to include a food or drink? For example, do you add $5 to your normal paint night price to include a drink? Or do you just have people purchase whatever they want from the venue? Do you find that restaurants want prepaid guaranteed amounts, or do they trust that the guests will purchase food and drinks? Okay, so we have, again, there's over 3,000 PPHQ people. So a lot of people do things different ways. We have some that have great results with charging 40 and they take 30 and the venue takes 10 and gives them a free glass of wine, for example. We have some that, do none of that. Like I try So we have the one that's coming up with Junk Gypsy. It's $35 a person, and they're given a free glass of champagne. I'm not given that. They are, and I'm going to take 30, and they're taking 5 per person. So it depends on the venue. I can't say this is an exact science because sometimes things, will be a different way, but just be willing to be flexible. What I do caution you is don't make it so cheap that you get a crowd that will only order water and not tip the waitresses. Because again, the whole reason for the partnership, like I make sure to email them ahead of time and say, come hungry, come early, all of that stuff. Okay. All right. And just a reminder, if you're wanting to join, if you join by Tuesday at midnight, you're going to get the bonuses, and the doors are closing at midnight. We're trying to keep Paint Party headquarters a little less chaotic with people just coming and going and making sure we're protecting our members. Okay. So Rhonda says, Heidi, do you have a preference on using boards versus canvas? I like canvas. I know some people use boards, but it's just, they're so cheap, y'all. They're so cheap. This is really a service-based industry. Debbie says, sorry, I have a lot of questions. That's okay. And remember, for those of you coming with us in Paint Party headquarters, I'm not going anywhere. I'm running the meetings. I'm at the meetings, I'm at the Q&A every month. I, try to pop in and answer questions. We have a whole team called the Guardians at Paint Party headquarters, that their job is to go through and do that. So I want to make sure that that you are taken care of. So the Guardians literally answer your question, and then they give you a training that leads to me talking about the answer to that question. Okay, let's see. What seems to be the best time to have a party? What's the best size of canvas? If somebody doesn't show up for a class, but prepay, do you refund? Okay, so great questions. I usually do my parties anywhere from like 6 to 8, 6 to 8:30. The only reason I did 7 on Wednesday is because we've basically been meeting every day at 7, and I didn't want to confuse y'all with throwing y'all off at 6. So, but normally I start my parties at 6. But I also have a party I do at 2 p.m. All the time. And so it depends on the area. I do recommend don't doing them on Sundays. I do not have luck at all on Sundays. My canvas preference is 12 by 16. I used to do all 16 by 20 and then kids 11 by 14. I've found that the 12 by 16 has been a really great size. And then I'll do 11 by 14 for kids. Okay, can you break down the cost versus the profit? Yes. So we just talked about that, Coleman, whenever I was showing y'all the slides. But basically, if you're doing 35 a person, I usually say like $6 to take off for supplies. So again, depending on how much you're spending on stuff, but usually it rounds out to about $29 profit per person. Debbie says, is a business license needed? So when I started this, I was just doing parties. And then I was like, oh, this is really kicking in. Like, this is really making money. I better do something about this. So then I went and got a DBA, which is doing business as. It's like $25 at your county clerk's office. Let's see. Debbie says, do you follow the instructions step by step, like on the instructions when doing a paint party, or do you add some of your own? Debbie, I wish I could say I always follow the instructions, but I'm an artist. And sometimes I get distracted and I squirrel and all kinds of things can happen. So sometimes I forget a step altogether and they're like, but wait. And I'm like, oh yeah, forgot the eyes, whatever. So just like the other night, I painted one eye. So yes, I get distracted. But I want you to know that many of you do paint parties way better than me, way better than me. Okay. So you don't have to be perfect at it to make money. I hope that's the lesson here. You don't have to have everything figured out to make money at this. Okay. Let's see. Carol asked, how often do people contact you and how often do you post your own? I gave people contact, but it's sporadic. So Carol, here's how I do it. I look at my calendar. If I want more events, then I go to the magic script. That's what I do. I follow my own advice. So if I'm needing an event, if I have something coming up and, Pixie, she talked about her tooth the other day, it's going to cost $8,000 to get that girl a tooth. It's insane. We have to do more orthodontics. We have to do all this stuff. It's taking a year long. Poor girl. It's been without a tooth all this time. And so, so yeah, that's $8,000. I got to come up with $8,000. So I'm like, dang it. And so, so yeah, so if I need more money coming in, I'll look at my calendar and then I start doing the magic script. So that's what I recommend is you do that, you book your parties. And then once you get 1 or 2 booked, then switch your focus to all butts in the seat. Okay. And we have many trainings on that. All right, let's see. Kira asked, will we learn about email marketing? I'm confused on the process of it. Yeah, so we touch on what to email to your paint party people. So I recommend emailing at least once a week, even if it's just, hey, check this out, or oh, I'm so happy you're here. Here's upcoming events, all of that kind of stuff. Yes, we do talk about that. Okay, let's see. Lori, is it okay to host parties in your home? It is okay. Some people do that. Debbie's a great example. She does parties. She has her garage set up as an art studio. I personally don't like it just because I would rather have the mobility. Plus, I've had people in my art studio and I just don't like sharing. I don't like sharing my art studio. And so I choose not to do it at my home. However, I have in the past. So yes, it is an option. It's just up to you. It's up to you how you want to run this. Again, that's the goodness of this too, is you can run it however you want. Okay, last question on this thread, and then we're moving to the spreadsheet. All right, Lori says, what did your first paint parties look like? I don't have the funds to invest in anything like a light, easily apron. Okay, so Lori, again, don't worry about that stuff. For I think 2 years, I had no easels, no aprons. Okay. I didn't even have Amazon. That was before Amazon was a thing. So don't worry about that stuff. Okay. I really want you to not let that stuff get you. What you do is the magic script, get a party booked. Once you get a couple of prepays, use that money to buy the paint you need and the brushes you need just for that party. Okay. One step at a time. All right. We keep it simple. Okay. So I finished those. I'm so proud of myself. Okay. So now we have one more set. And Lori, just so you know, my paint parties looked very, I was very scared and nervous and a lot of mixed brushes because I used a lot of brushes from my home. Okay. All right. Let's take another deep breath and a quick stretch break. All right. Get up, stretch it out. We're almost there, y'all. We're almost there. We almost got all these questions. I see y'all. Okay. Y'all may think I'm weird, but it helps. It really does help. Oh my gosh, I need to use mine. I've been talking a lot this week. If you lose your voice, this works really well. Singers, lemon and honey. One time I lost my voice before a 30-person paint party, and Pixie was 10 years old, and she had to run the whole thing. She ran a 30-person paint party while I whispered to her the instructions for the next set. It was before we had everything in instructions. Yeah, she's 17 now, almost 18. So when she was 10. So if my daughter can run a 30-person paint party of adults, you can run a paint party. I promise you. Okay. All right, let's see. We have Eunice. She says PPHQ is equal to getting a master's degree, and paint parties and resources are outstanding. Your group members are even a bigger resource. Oh, thank you for saying that. That's so sweet. Thank you. Okay, let's see. We have Daryl says, can I apply everything you're showing us to do online paint parties? Yeah, so like I said, the fastest way to cash is in person. The online takes time because if you have a following of 500 people or even 100 people, only a minimal amount are seeing your posts. And then from those seeing it, only a minimal amount are going to sign up for your online paint party. So I do teach you how to do that, but just know that that is a longer road. And I want to be very upfront about that. All right. Kiara says, do the discount paint codes work in stores? Well, oh, only online. Desra says, how do you get people on the weekdays? Oh my gosh. Some of my, my biggest, paint parties are on like Mondays or Wednesdays. I'm telling you, like that's because the weekends we're all busy with family stuff. But man, you can get out for a girls' night on a Thursday night or something. Like those are money maker days. Desiree also asks, how far in advance do you post events or let people know you're having an event? When did you do this week? Oh, hold on. How far in advance do you post events or let people know? I like to do 3 weeks in advance. That's kind of my minimum, 3 weeks. When did you do this week or did you already have the event? No, we already had been advertising for it for 3 weeks. Cindy says, if we do the pay per month, do you have a back-to-back monthly payments, not missing a month in order to still be a part of it? Not for the skip months, but can we pick up where we left off and then pay for non-consecutive months? Or if you skip a month, we're not able to start again. So Cindy, what we're trying to do is we're shutting the doors on Tuesday at midnight. And then usually in August, we'll do like what we call it a fall ball. But I want you to be prepared. Like, here's the thing. If you can learn what you need to learn, get your stuff ready. June, we're releasing our fall stuff. Be ready for fall. Okay. This is so important. Be ready. Like there's spring parties are happening. Mother's Day parties are happening. You can still get in on all that. You can still get in on summer stuff, but hear me. If you can learn and be ready for fall, it is life-changing, okay? It is amazing. It is so much fun and it is so profitable. So so Cindy, we're not trying to have people just come and go like that. I hope that makes sense. And then also just a heads up, it's when you join Paint Party headquarters, you have rights to all of my stuff right away. So like you can immediately grab a picture of one of my paintings and use that to send with the magic script, which saves you time. So if okay, I know I can paint this or at least learn how before my party's there. You know how many times we've had like a guest artist and I booked a party with their painting and I hadn't even painted it yet. I wait till the party's gonna make and I start getting some prepays. Then I'm like, oh crap, the party's Saturday. I better get this painted. And that's kind of the power of this because it's gonna save you time and money for that. All right. So let me see where so yeah, so you'll have access to it. So my main thing I want to tell you is if you cancel Paint Party headquarters, then it's not like you have access to everything I offered up until that date. No, I just ask that you respectfully don't keep using my stuff to make money with it. Okay. I think that's kind of a fair deal. So it's kind of like the YMCA. If you quit, you're not taking the treadmill with you and using it at home or their classes, right? So I just want to make sure you're respectful of that. So as long as you're a member, you're totally fine to use whatever. Okay, Bonnie says, will the lookbook be sent to Canada? Yes. Arsenio, I hope I'm saying that right. Do you have paint parties for kids? Yes. Not only do we have paintings for kids, we also have tons of tracers, hundreds of tracers that you can use for kids parties or to add or to make other things. We try to give you so much stuff and we don't want to overwhelm. Oh, yay. I said your name right. Yay. And we don't want to overwhelm you, but we also know as an artist, as a paint party business owner myself, we need options. So we really try to have that for you. Okay, Desiree says, I need to know more about the art camps and do you have to be licensed for that? So if you're doing an art camp, so I've done art camps in the past. I've actually done art camps at my home. Where I charged a certain amount. It was like a 5 to 12, ages 5 to 12 summer camp for, 3 hours. We actually had a paint and slime camp. So I think it depends on your area. If you're going to need a license for that. So I have like, insurance where I have, insurance that covers me. But you don't, and you can get that at like, certain areas. We have a spot that talks a little bit about insurance in Paint Party headquarters. But it depends on your area. But if you're going to have, again, I would just make sure you're taking the first step before you go down a whole rabbit hole of art camps, kids camps, kits, all just guinea pig party. Step one. Remember, like, don't get too overwhelmed in every single logistic. That's going to be the most dangerous thing for your paint party business. All right. April Stokes says, where do you get the easels for your parties? I get mine at Michael's, but they have some really cheap ones on Amazon. And Denise says, what is Julie's turnaround time if we order canvases for her? She is quick. Her and Jeremy are so quick. It seems like less than a week, but I'm gonna always say, that's gonna be her question to answer. But I mean, it seems like I've been getting them in a week and a half. Let's see. But I'm always gonna be that person that I underestimate and overpromise. No, overpromise. No, underpromise. That's my quote. Underpromise and over. No, that's not it. What is it? Dang it. Team, y'all know what I'm talking about. What is it where we underpromise and overestimate? No, that is not it. Dang it. Now I can't move on until I got it. Does anybody know what I'm trying to say? It's a very famous quote. Underpromise and overdeliver. Thank you, Desiree. Thank you. That's what it is.
It's almost over.
Oh my gosh, that's what it is. Okay. All right. So the next question, let's see how we're doing. Yeah, always do that. I do that for everything. That way you're able, people get excited about stuff. And have you ever tried deco art paint from Dollarama for the party? I have not. I mean, I'd use deco art, but I don't know about Dollarama. I haven't heard of that. And Mogan says, if only 1 to 2 people sign up for the paint party, should we start or cancel it? It's up to you. So there's this saying, do you have more time or more money and less time, right? So if you have more time, I would teach it just because you have the time and it's good practice. But if you're like, I'm running a full-time job and I need at least, 6 people to make this worth it, then I would cancel it. Dion says, if somebody hosts a party, do you give them a free painting for themselves? Yes. So Dion, I often will let the host paint for free, often. And if you have a party at a restaurant, do you add a fee to include 1 free drink to guarantee income for the venue, or do you just have people buy if they want something? So again, like we talked about earlier, making sure you are doing a good job of emailing and saying, come early, make sure you grab this, all of that kind of stuff, right? And it's our responsibility to make sure that they're having fun, coming early, buying food so that you can go back and be a part of that venue. Y'all, we are almost done. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of us. Okay. All right. Arsina, hopefully. Do you teach how to set up and market art kits? Yes. So we have trainings on art kits inside of Paint Party headquarters. Yes. Debbie says, do you have to have a business license? We talked about this a little bit earlier, and you can get a DBA doing business ads for like 25 bucks. Victoria says, how early do you arrive for setup? And does the venue always provide tables and chairs? Victoria, double, triple check that there are tables and chairs. Double, triple check that the tables and chairs have been set out. Also, I never have a problem if I need to set them out, but I always kind of ask, hey, are these going to be ready? We have a big party on Saturday, not tomorrow, but next Saturday. And this is an event where I've shown up. I always show up super early because I've had bad experiences. But I always show up really early, and I'm so thankful I did because none of the chairs and tables were set out. And thankfully, Bobby was with me because we had to quickly get everything out. So always double check that. I do not recommend bringing your own. Just, nope, you got to have tables and chairs ready. And then I usually, so if it's a party of 10, I usually get there an hour and 15 minutes early, which is way early. But I am one of those people, I would rather have it beautiful, ready to go, sit around and go to a coffee store or whatever, and then come back versus not be ready. I've had moments of both, and I just prefer being way over early. But you'll start to figure out kind of how you feel comfortable. Bridget says, do you prefer the canvas or flat or framed? I use these kind, the Artist Loft, the value packs. I use those all the time. You can get them on sale at Michael's or Hobby Lobby all the time. Can you explain a little bit more about a DBA? Lydia says, and that's just a doing business as. It's I have an LLC now, but for many years I ran my paint party business just through a DBA. I know all states and countries have different rules, so I always say I show you a little bit about, I use QuickBooks, things like that, but I don't go big into taxes just because I do not want to get you thrown in jail. I do not want to get you in trouble. So I kind of lead you kind of like to here's what I do, but I recommend you talk to a CPA who you trust about that. All right. Bridget says, do you send brushes home with them or collect them for the next party? So I always keep my brushes unless it's a kit that I'm sending home. Then I'll send it with them. All right. We just have a few more. Oh my gosh. Y'all are hanging in there. Good job. Okay, Lynn says, for kids' parties, do you require a parent to be present? And no, I don't. So they'll drop them off, and then I say, hey, I have your kid for the next hour. You can either stay and hang out, or if you want to go run some errands, we'll be done right at noon. I always tell them when we'll be done so they don't show up late. So I do, and usually my parties for kids last about an hour and 10 minutes. But I try to like have it to where they show up right there at the end. So they're seeing the group picture, all that fun stuff. Let's see. Denise says, does your paint party business book come with the membership? Yes. So the lookbook is, we have this right now ready for you to download. We're giving you a smaller version of this that gets sent as a new member. It's like a new member bonus that we recently started. But everyone inside Paint Party headquarters right now has access to download this, to change it, to edit it, to make it whatever you want. So if you don't like my paintings, but you have your own and you want my trainings and you want my expertise on that and you want the community, but you don't really care how I paint, then you can change this out. Also remember, like, I don't like barn quilts. Like, I'm just gonna say it. I don't like gnomes. I just don't. I know it's bad for me to say, but gnomes sell. So guess what? I like gnomes. I like barn quilts because they sell. So sometimes something that you might not love doesn't mean it's not going to sell. So you have to be ready for that too. Oh, I meant the book behind you. Oh, this one. Yeah, we have this inside Paint Party headquarters. We have this inside there. And then also, we sell it if you want the printed version. We sell the printed version of this on Amazon if you want a printed version. And then, of course, if y'all haven't read my book yet, I just wrote a book. So if you want to read it, it's called Your Dreams Don't Die, They Haunt You. And it's on Amazon. And it's very short, so it doesn't take a long time to read. And I think you can pay like 99 cents for it. So, and I did the Audible. So if you want to hear me reading it, you can get that for, I think, 99 cents. Okay. All right, let's see. And you'll get to know me a little bit more. You'll hear all kinds of stuff about me. You might not like me after that. So don't read it. No, I'm kidding. You can read it. Okay, let's see. Debbie says, how do you get the customers to leave? Because there's always those that want to stay and talk. Okay, so this is the last question. I think this is the last question, right? Oh, and let us know if you're a Paint Party headquarter member already. Do hashtag PPHQ. I would love to see you. Okay, so here's the deal. Okay, so how do you get customers to leave when they're the last ones? Okay, I love this question because I have a party that I do almost every month. And I have been doing it for years, okay? And there's been this certain group of people that have been coming to this party before COVID. I mean, we've been doing this party since 2018. We were doing it at a restaurant for a while, and like the same group kind of follows, wherever. Now we're doing it at the American Legion, and I love this group of girls. And one of the girls, we always make a joke because she always is the last person, and her name's Megan. And I utilize this as time to get to know Megan. I really do. And so I always say, hey, Megan, I'm going to be cleaning up, but take your time, because everybody's gone and she's still adding finishing touches. So that's how I run it. Not everybody is going to be that way, and that's totally fine. You don't have to run parties like I do. Okay. A lot of times I start to say, it's almost 8 o'clock. You know, you probably heard me on Wednesday. All right, we're doing the group picture in 10 minutes. If you're not done, you can go back and finish painting. And then we literally start cleaning up while they're working. I just leave their stuff on the table and pick up around them. So I just really think it's important to, like, customer service is huge for me. I don't know if you can see that in this in this whole week, but we are so big on customer service. There's this book called The Carpenter. If you've read it, let me know in the comments, but I've recommended it to Paint Party headquarters. And the reason why I feel like it's so important for you to read is because it talks about how if you just take care of your paint party people, I mean, he's not running a paint party business, but you know what I mean? If you take care of your customers, they're going to be lining up. They're going to come back. And I truly feel like that. And my whole team's that way too. We feel like if we really do a good job taking care of you and trying to get you what you need and what you want, and we take it very, very seriously, we just really like, you know, want to help you. I mean, if you're, you know, not making money, we're not doing our job right. So our job is to help you make money. That's literally what my role is to give you paintings that make you a profit. So a lot of times people will be like, well, I need to grab it and paint it myself first. And I'm like, no, book the party, get prepays, like utilize my images to do that. So you can start bringing in money, and then you can see how impactful that is. Also, let us know if you have joined. If you have joined, let me know. I'd love to welcome you this week. And then just oh yeah, I can do that. That's fine. Let me show you too. If you want to grab the link, just put we'll put the link here. Oh, it looks like my team's already put the link in the comments. So if you want to grab the link, and then also if you have any other questions, like let me know. If you join by Tuesday at midnight, you'll get the bonuses, and then we're closing the doors at midnight. So if you want to be a part of this, be ahead, ready to learn, to do all of that. And then I just want to sincerely thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this week. If you had fun this week, put a 1 in the chat. If you thought it was valuable, it was free. So hopefully this was valuable. And I've been answering questions for 2 hours. So hopefully that was all good. Yes. Okay, good. You thought it was valuable. Great. I wish somebody would have done this for me whenever I was first starting out. This would have been crazy. If I would have known. I remember watching the Tipsy Artist and literally on her YouTube videos pausing so I could see where she set brushes. So I could see, you know, what her canvases were, what her easels, like literally just like watching her videos over and over again. And I so wish if Tipsy Artist would have been like, here's what you do, I would have been like, oh, thank you so much. It would have saved so much time. So I hope this week was valuable. And if you liked it, and if you liked the energy of this, and you maybe like me a little bit, like whatever, like if you want to continue this, I would love to have you inside Paint Party headquarters. And I just hope so much that regardless if this is where we part ways, I want you to have tons of success, because I truly feel like we don't have to be starving artists. We can all have some of the business, and we can all support each other and have this great place for that. So I'm very excited. I hope that you'll join us in Paint Party headquarters, and let us know if you have any other questions. All right, y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys. Thanks for being a part of it. It was fun. And the link should be there if you want to grab it. Oh, you're very welcome. Thank y'all so much for being a part of this. Oh, you're welcome. All right. Good night, y'all. I'll see you later.